Okay, let's see if this works. Part 3. I don't see part 2. Looks like I'm working. It looks like it's working. This is what we got. Here's our floor. I may find a quote or something and put on here at some point. But for now, that's what I got. So that's done. So we're done with the floor. Now the gloves are white. That are coming through the floor. Supposed to do that with not duct tape. Supposed to do that with aluminum foil to clean your glue gun off with. But I didn't have any sitting here. So let's see. I have all these beads we can make. I actually said it right this time. Yay! That's not a bead paper. And since I have markers out, we can color them with markers. Here comes my cat. So she'll probably be meowing here in a second. Let's see if I can get this to stay here, even though it's still hot. Better wait. Set that back in my ashtray. Let's see. I had this gray paint. I might as well use that first so it doesn't go to waste. cleaning up. So I think that paint may be too dry to use now. No, okay. Paintbrush ain't working too well because I forgot to put it in water last night, so the paint dried on it. It'll be easy cleanup for that, so I'm not too worried about that. Some of my bead rollers are being a pain. There we go. Yeah, I figured if this didn't work today, my webcam, that I was just going to print off a whole bunch of beads. Or cut out a bunch of beads and paint them, and because like I said, my other computer isn't running like it's supposed to either, so that one was a little tight. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of bead shapes. That I'm excited to try out. Is that two stuck together? No. So what did you do to the cupcake liners? Did you turn them into flowers or something? I've seen people do that. Oh, me, I've got my other computer on. I forgot to turn it off. So I figured since I was watching, I gave myself a thumbs up. Okay, cool. I've seen people make flowers out of cupcake uh, liners. But anytime I buy cupcake liners, my family thinks I have to make cupcakes. Let me turn this off. Oh, cool. Yeah, I never got into them ones. Like the fairy ones. I made I'll show you what I made here in just a second. If I can find them. No, I don't see them. See one there either. I made some like the Harry Potter type ones. I'm sure they're just as pretty as everybody else's. I really need to make me some baby wipes. I know, come on. cool. I think I'm gonna do these big fat ones because these are hard to do with my bead rollers. I think I'm gonna stick to the small ones until I can get another, so I can make another bead roller. Yeah, I posted my wreath on my Facebook wall because I wanted my aunt from England and all them to see it, and she liked it. I think I sent you a friend's request on Facebook too. I think I explained why I did this last time. If you color, you don't have to color as much as I did. It makes the inside of the bead the same color as the outside, and then you do the edges and you don't have the white edges. I couldn't remember if I explained that last time or not, so that's what I'm doing if y'all are wondering. No, don't. You just have to hold it a few seconds for the glue to catch. These are the ones I've made so far today. Just those. I still have this whole box. I kept all of my scraps. Some of these I won't, make into beads, but I wanted to keep my scraps. And then some of them, I think we're gonna make some really cool beads. I won't sit here and do every one of these, but like these triangles, okay, that'll be cool. These triangles were what were left from cutting the other sets of triangles. So I cut all these out too. I don't know if I'm gonna do these. I think that's too tedious for even me. I'll throw those away. But like these were the cutoffs or the cut out. I'm trying to, what do you call it? The negative? I don't know what it's called. But anyway, this was part of what was left of the ones I cut. And I wanted to see if I could get what kind of shape I'd get out of some of these. So we're just going to color some and see what happens. Because I don't know what's going to happen. Also, if you paint your fingernails or anything, when these dry out, any kind of marker, when it dries out, if it has a tip like this or finer, take it apart, use your rubbing alcohol. Don't cut the, I don't know how these come apart. I've never seen this. These come from England, so I don't know how they come apart. But anyway, take your nib out, put it in some alcohol, take your barrel out, put it in alcohol, and then squeeze it to get all the ink out. Don't cut it. The ink barrel that's inside, don't cut that. Just get all the ink out of it. Then you'll have alcohol ink. After you get all the ink out of that and this, then get fingernail polish remover from the Dollar Tree and soak the nib and the sponge part, the barrel part that's in here, in that, and then put it back together. And if you mess up on your, when you're doing your fingernails, you can just use it to do the corrections instead of paying $6 for one of those stupid pens. You might one day. A little wet in there. Because I was pricing my husband likes me to do my nails and stuff. That's why you guys see me with long fingernails sometimes. And he likes them painted. I've just been in a really ticked off mood and haven't done my nails lately. But I can't paint my fingernails without getting it all over me. And then when you try to use a Q-tip or something, then it really a mess. So I saw on YouTube a lady taking a, I think it was on one of those like life hack videos, and she had took one of the markers apart and filled it up with the fingernail after she soaked it. She filled it up with fingernail polish remover, and I was like, I can do that and make alcohol ink all at the same time. Because I know Dollar Tree sells the really cheap markers for $1. So you get your alcohol ink, and you can have a uh, nail pen all at the same time. That one kind of made like a little fat barrel. That's kind of cute. And I was talking to my husband, and he said that he doesn't think acetone will work for rinsing these out. So I'm gonna have to get paint thinner, and we were at, where the heck were we? We were at Tractor Supply. Okay, she got I think she got low odor or no odor, and it was a jar about that big. And I think she paid like $5 or $6 for it at Walmart. It was low odor. Anyway, paint thinner. And at Tractor Supply, you can get a can of it that's about this tall, and it was like, it was huge for the same price. So I'm gonna go there and get some as soon as I get the money. I know we know what these look like, but excuse me, I got choked. My aunt sent me a coloring book one year, and these markers for Christmas. I just love them. These aren't the only markers I have. I have Stampin' Up! Markers, which I absolutely love to color with. That's the only thing of my Stampin' Up! Stuff I'm keeping. Are my markers and my chalk. And a couple of the punches I'm keeping. Everything else can go. Well, oopsie. And I did not realize, I didn't do the ends. Oopsie. I did not really realize how expensive bead rollers were. I mean, Jiminy Crickets. That's why I'm so glad I found YouTube. I've learned so much on YouTube. I'm gonna send my son a text real quick. Right now, yeah, that's everything. I think is some punches, um, the stamps and the inks, and I still haven't heard from the one girl who wanted the stamps. She's not answered that PayPal thing, so. And I double checked to make sure that I put hers in right. I think that's a little too thick. Yeah, that's kind of pretty. Yeah, after I entered her stuff like I was supposed to, I believe, and then I got to thinking. She said she was going to look for the U.S. phone number. So now I'm worried that she's out of state. And depending on where she is, that 30 may just pay for shipping. Cool. If my husband's being a jackass, I'll probably get on and watch. I don't have any money, but I can watch at least. Show some love. Well, it didn't dawn on me till, when was it? Yesterday? Because my husband said, I thought you had to mail them stamps out. And I said, well, the girl hasn't, given me, she hasn't paid for it yet. And I don't have her address. And I said, I'm kind of worried it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, because he was going to pay for me to ship them out. And I was like, no, because I think she's out of state. And if she's out of state, then it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to mail it to her. See, with you, I was just going to get one of those flat rate boxes for whatever you wanted. Then it didn't matter. It was one flat fee for the postage. So I wouldn't mind taking that out of whatever I get, depending on what you get, if you get anything. But say I don't think you can send those flat rate boxes overseas. Okay. Because I know she doesn't want the notebook. She just wants the stamps. And she said, just put the stamps in one of those envelopes. It'll be a lot cheaper, which it will, depending on, I just screwed that all up. I just screwed that all up. Hey, this might be a little bit of a wonky bead. But we're okay with wonky beads. Wonky beads are fine. They'll string up too. Glue all over me. I've got to figure out. I know everybody uses the glue sticks, but when I tried using the glue sticks the other day to do those other ones, they just went pop. Here's our little fat bead. Well, I'm assuming if she is overseas, that, yeah, the shipping, if I tried to mail the book and all, would be outrageous. I have one friend who lives in Canada, and she lives so close to the border that she actually has a USPO, yeah, PO box. Is that, yeah? So when she does swaps and stuff, she gives her US address, and then she just comes over and gets it. Yeah. Well, then she doesn't have to pay. I don't think she has to pay taxes either on it, or not taxes. What was it? I didn't do the edges. You know what? I don't care. I'm not unrolling it. Um, like if I send anything to my aunt in England, I always put a gift on it, because if not, they have to pay. It's kind of like a tax for it being there, which I don't send my aunt much. Unless my dad's sending her something, then I'll put something in the box. I know the first Christmas we sent gifts over. Oh my Lord, it cost us an arm and a leg to send it to her. Ow, ow. I still wound up dropping it. I guess it went up and under my chair. So I told y'all my dad's doing the state quarters for my aunt, getting her a set. He sends me an email today, and he goes, so I don't want to get all the kids a set of state quarters, but I want to get them all the Tennessee state quarter. And he said, I'm one short. And I'm like, well, that's easy. I've got a ton of them. So, okay. Okay, what have I done? Don't need this, so I'm going to wind it up so it's out of the way. Because it was getting on my nerves. Getting on my nerves. And then we'll make some more beads. Maybe. If I can get this on here. Yep. Now he's hung up and out of the way. And my phone's blinking for some reason. It's because I had a text message. Okay, so I'm going to try this purple. But yeah, I gotta make some baby wipes. I think I have everything to make baby wipes with. So. And then I have to make a bead holder so that I can seal all the beads that I'm making. Because as of right now, I don't have a bead holder. I'm making a ton of beads. But I don't have anything, a drying rack. That's what I'm trying to say. I need to make a drying rack for my beads. I didn't want to lose my words. You're back. How are you? Made quite a few. Well, shoot. Throwing stuff at myself. Yeah. I was just sitting here thinking that too. I'll give a shout out to Nikki because she's just been watching the reruns. Hi, Nikki. Miss you. That's Hedwig Hollow. I can never get her name right. Now that I know she's Nikki, I can't pronounce her YouTube channel name right. The one that sent me the yummies from Wales. Was it Wales? I don't know. UK. I told my dad, I said, I finally got my Turkish delight. He said, you did? How? I said, a friend from YouTube sent me some. And he's like, and I said, oh, I loved them. I said, couldn't get Ricky to taste it. I said, tricked the kids into eating it. I said, they weren't amused. I was amused. They weren't. So when my roses started blooming, it reminded me of the Turkish delight. So now every time I smell roses, I'm gonna think of my Turkish delight and Miss Nikki, who sent it to me. Yeah, I've always been taught that, try something if you've never tried it before. And so, yeah, if I have to trick my kids into trying something, then that's what I'm going to do. Because if you don't try something, you don't know if you're going to like it or not. You know? Like, I didn't know my son ate sushi. I had no clue. But yeah, he eats sushi. I've only tried um, sushi from our grocery store, and I was not a fan of it. I think this marker is almost out of ink. Oh well, it'll give it a cool effect anyway. So my husband has given me 2 Starbucks bottles so I can decorate them. That's what wow. That's what the lids are. Are from Starbucks uh, bottles that I haven't decorated yet. I haven't decided what I wanted to do. Oh, blue screen. Who else hasn't been in here in a while? I kept losing my connection yesterday, and Crafty Kitty was in here. That's Joy. And then, which I know it sucks. Yeah, I need to do something else springy. I could deco polish one of the bottles in something springy. I think I got some springy napkins. So that would work. Ah, that didn't work. Will not take your hands off the bead. I kept seeing a black spot on my bead and couldn't figure out what it was. It was the shadow. A dirt. No, those are too fat to do anything with either. But that one's ripped. But I think if I use that for the inside, it'll be fun. Get a song stuck in my head and I can't get it out. I've been on a country music kick here lately. I have no idea why. I don't normally listen to country music. Oh, so I went to show my husband that my ex-boss was trying to get a hold of me through her mother's Facebook account. And when I went to show him the message, all it shows now is Facebook user. So I'm wondering if because I didn't answer it, she like deleted me as a friend or something. I don't know. Not that I care. Maybe she may have deleted it. I didn't think about that. Oh, and right after I had lost my job, it wasn't 2 days later, and her husband sent me a friend's request. I'm like, I don't think so. What is wrong with you people? I heard through the grapevine that he up and left her and took their vehicle and everything, left her high and dry. I'm like, oh well, could happen to a nicer person. I don't know because they know I don't. They know I don't work there anymore. That I lost my job because of them. Because my BFF, her stepsister, married my ex-boss's son, and I'm actually friends with her son and his wife on Facebook. Hey, we don't talk or anything, but I don't delete anybody except for I deleted my boss, my ex-boss, her husband, and then another co-worker, because this person I'm absolutely positive was in cahoots with my at the time boss. But yeah, I don't understand why they'd want to get a hold of me either, because I don't want to say I'm not a vindictive person, but I wish them nothing but miserable lives. You know, the people who, it's always the ones who work their asses off, do everything that everybody asks, that get screwed in the end. It's always like that. And I really considered her a friend, and that's what made it 10 times worse. I guess she figured since so much time has passed that I would want to speak with her. Does it see? I can tell you the day I got fired because I actually still have the paperwork. The only reason why I kept the paperwork, it's in here somewhere. The only reason why I kept the paperwork was because, oh wait, this may be it. 2017, May 22nd, 2017. January. Okay. Oh wait, that's not right. Hold on. It was May 18th. They sent this on the 22nd. Yeah. The day they told me I was just suspended for 2 weeks on the 18th. I knew I was fired. And so, like I said, on the 22nd, I got that letter saying that I had been fired. They didn't even have the balls to tell me they were firing me in person. Because my boss, ex-boss, did some shit she shouldn't have done. And they accused me of helping her. And when they accused me of helping her, apparently you shouldn't swear. And I told the guy that was a bunch of BS, only I actually said the words instead of BS. And he fired me on the, well, suspended me, said because I was uncooperative. And I told him, I said, that's when I lost my temper. And I told him, whatever. At that point, I was confused and I was in tears and I just wanted out of there. And I called my husband, told my husband that they had fired me, which I knew that's what they had done, even though they said suspended. And he told me not to leave, and I told him, I said, it's too late, I've done left. And he said, well, I'm going down there. And so I called the store and I told my, at the time, district manager, I said, just so you know, my husband's on his way down there and it's probably not going to be pretty. And the only thing that they would say to my husband was, we can't speak to you about this. And in front of God and everybody, my husband called him a effing coward and told him that I've done nothing but bend over backwards for the company for the last 9 years. And this was the thanks I get, is that because one person was a thief, I get accused of being one too. He told him, he said, you don't have an effing backbone, and all this was a witch hunt. And he's right, it was nothing but a witch hunt. They wanted to fire everybody that worked under her so that they could get a clean start. And I had been lied to from the day one I started that job, so it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to say the job was all bad, because there was a lot of fun times at the job, but I should have quit a long time ago when I saw things that were being done that weren't right. Oh, I've had people call me telling me that they were saying that I was stealing stuff from the store. And I told them, I said, if I ever hear it and can prove it, I said, I will get every one of them for slander. I said, I was not the one who stole anything. But if anybody ever wanted to work for that company, I'd tell them to find another company to work for. And no, I'm not going to say what company it is on YouTube. Because all the district managers, all they care about are themselves. And they will stick up for the managers, whether the managers are in the wrong or not, and screw everybody else. They're just going to save their own asses. And that's exactly what this DM did. Because she fooled loss prevention, and it was his fault that she did. Because he told her before loss pension came in on her. So she had all kinds of time to prepare. But yet it doesn't bother to tell the honest one. And the company won't do anything. And if I don't hear it with my own ears, I'm not going to do anything. I really don't care. That company is a joke anyway. They don't give a rip about their employees. Also, I think they were cleaning house of anybody who made a certain amount of money because um, just before I lost my job, uh, 3 other managers, high paying managers, had been gone after, and uh, they fired 2 of them. One of them, this chick, had them by the balls because they came in saying that she had doctored her books and all this kind of stuff. And what she would do at the end of the night is she would photocopy everything and keep it in a notebook so that she had records of all her transactions and stuff that she did. And she told the loss prevention guy, where? Prove it. She goes, because this is my records of everything that I've ever done since I've been in this store. And she said, there is nothing on here that can get me in trouble. The same DM, because it was my DM too, was hers, stood in the corner and did absolutely nothing as this loss prevention guy cussed this woman up one side and down the other and called her a liar and all this kind of stuff. And then when she pulled, that was before she pulled her records out. And when she pulled her records out, the loss prevention guy was like, oh, I'm so sorry, there must have been a mistake or something. And she goes, oh, yeah, there's a mistake, all right, and it's yours. And she's like, you don't have to fire me. I'm quitting, and you'll be talking to my attorney. And she sued the company, and she won. But yeah, it was nothing but a witch hunt. They were trying to get rid of everybody. And they did. They got rid of everybody. The manager who took over the store I was working at, she was a nice lady. But she sucked as a manager. I know, I was just sitting here going, wow, these look so springy. I'll just throw the napkin away. It just really makes me mad because, I went to court for them people and never got paid for it because my boss would always schedule me off. Didn't know that was illegal, but it is. I should have been paid. Um, there was just, I don't drive in the snow. So on the days I knew that I had to work, and it'd be like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon that I had to work, I would have my husband drop me off on his way to work so that I would be able to get to work on time. And I don't know how many. I don't know. Like I said, I just hope they all rot in hell. Every last one of them. The same day it happened, I went to my dad's because I was so upset. And my dad said, well, call an attorney and let's talk, talk to him and see what he says. So I called an attorney, and I told him everything that happened and all that kind of stuff. And he started laughing. And I said, I've been fired. I said, I know that. And he goes, yeah, unfortunately, you've been fired. He said, because Tennessee's a right to hire, right to fire state. So, I mean, if they don't like you for whatever reason, they can fire you. They don't have to have a reason. They can just up and fire you. And he said, I want you to hold on to my phone number. He said, because if they do try to come after you to sue you for anything, he said, I want to represent you. He said, because we'll have them by the balls. So I don't know what I said in our conversation that made him think that we had a really good case if they did. But yeah, we've got a pretty good case. So, and so far as I know, this company doesn't go after anybody for anything that they do wrong. They just take the loss. So, and my boss knew that. My ex-boss, she knew it. That's why she did what she did, because she knew she'd get away with it. It's just sad she threw away. I think she had been with the company. I know she had worked at that store for 10 years, but I think she had been with the company almost 20. And she threw every bit of it away because of what she did. And it's just so sad. An end of a pen. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people do them that way. I've also seen people take the skewers and split them in half and make them. If you're just making, yeah, you can. But it's how do you get the, yeah. I did learn, though, that one of the things that the lawyer told me is that um, that as an employee, that legally I don't have to report anything I see going on at a company. That it's not my responsibility. That um, if I see the manager doing something, I do not have to report it. And that there's nothing the company can do to me because I didn't report it. And I was like, well, I said, I didn't report anything because she had me so scared of the DM. And he said, legally, you didn't have to. He said, it's not your job. He said, that's the company's responsibility to keep an eye on what's going on in the company, not you. Yeah, if you could, let me see. The only reason why people use bead rollers is because with the bead roller, that split holds the paper. I try to do it on a pen. Oh, that's not a pen at all, is it? Let me color this one. Yeah, my cousin told me I should have called Loss Preventions and talked to somebody there. And so I called Loss Preventions to ask them, not Loss Preventions, Labor Board. I called the Labor Board to talk to them to see if it was actually legal for Loss Prevention to have done what they did. And the lady was an absolute hoser. She told me, she goes, sounds like you need to get a lawyer. I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. I just want to know if loss prevention is allowed to do that. You need to get, oh no, we're going to try a pen. She goes, you just need to get a lawyer. Like, and you need to take a chill pill. See, I don't know how. I guess you could. It'd just be a really fat bead. Maybe the end of a paintbrush so they're not so like fat. Get this ink all over me. I like these because it makes it look like a flower. Where I've got the jagged edges on it. Let's see. I told my husband no, if I ever decided to go back to work, that instead of being nice, I'm just going to be the total tool. Because apparently, if you're a jackass to everybody, you get further in life at working. I don't know. My husband said, if they called you today and asked you to take your job back, would you? I said, nope. I said, but if the building was on fire, I'd take marshmallows. Tiny ink pens, yeah, those should work. I don't have any. I don't have any tiny ink pen. Oh well, I got one that big. But however big your ink pen's gonna be, that's how big the hole in your bead's gonna be. Um, if you have any like really small paintbrushes like that, I would use those. Don't have any paintbrushes? Okay. Let me think. Anything round. You just, I mean, whatever size round it's going to be. Like if I use that, it would be a big honking hole. If you want that, that's groovy. I'm trying to think of something else. Do you have any artificial flowers around the house? Bunch of colored pencils. Colored pencils would work. Yeah, because colored pencils are about that size. But if you have any fake flowers around the house that you could take like one of the stems off of, those would be cool. Depending on what size you want the hole, you could tape a couple together to make the width you want. But yeah, colored pencils, they're skinny. They should work. I'm trying to think of something else. Crap, what else is round? If you have any of the jumbo paper clips, you could tape a couple of those together, straighten them out, and then tape them together to make the size you want. Just anything round. I'm trying to think of all kinds of things that are round. I'm so hungry. Hey, Mac. How you doing? Long time no see, say. Do you crochet or knit? Oh, yeah, one would work. It'd be teeny tiny. Very welcome. Very welcome. That's good to hear. If you crochet or knit, you could use the crochet hooks or the knitting needles also. It is a very lovely day. Hey, crafty chick. How are you? Yeah, I haven't been on in a while. Camera issues, jury duty, all that kind of fun stuff. What color was that one I just did? I have no idea. Something else round. Lord. Girl, my mind has just went totally blank. It does have a way of getting into our fun. Yesterday I was having technical difficulty, couldn't get my stupid webcam to work worth a flip. I don't know how many videos I deleted or lives I tried deleting yesterday. And then today it's it's working. Well, I think this is like take 3. I don't know. But I finally got the it floor finished, so I decided to make beads. I'm the only left-handed person in the family, and my grandmother, God rest her soul, was a saint. She tried teaching me how to crochet. My dad tried teaching me how to crochet. My aunt tried to teach me how to crochet and to knit, and they all told me the same thing: take up a new hobby. Yeah, it was like 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I lost count. I got to the point where I was in tears after yesterday. I cannot. Lacking my friends is lacking croissant. My mom just had 4 times yesterday. I'm like you. I can't. I thought I was doing really good. I was so excited. I was trying to make my very first baby blanket. I made a triangle. I don't know how I made a triangle, but my baby blanket turned into a triangle. Now, my dad, he's taught himself to crochet, to knit, to loom. So my dad does all that really cool stuff. I know how to loom. He taught me how to do that. Which I may have to get one of my looms out and loom a blanket. I have to do it in sections because it's not that's not wide enough to. I colored both sides completely. Oh well, it don't matter. On the same desk. I was dropping everything earlier, but really, is that anything new for me? No. I should have eaten breakfast before I got on, but I was so afraid that if I didn't stay on when the camera worked, that it wouldn't come back on. So I just love how it looks like a flower. You can't see that. Something else that's brown that's in the house. Oh. Now I'm getting sleepy, people. So how is your day going, macaroni? Are you learning anything vital today at school? No. That's what my son says every day. So, what did you learn at school today? Nothing new. Nothing that could help me. Nothing that could help me. Yeah, true. Well, English is important. The learning to read and write part. Not that they teach writing in school anymore, apparently. I had some Velveeta mac and cheese for breakfast. I just, that's so funny because I actually started to actually almost have macaroni and cheese for breakfast and decided it was going to take too long to cook. So I didn't. I think I just did that one. Actual brain food. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be so spacey right now if I'd have ate. But I have to take my son to work here in a little bit, so once I get back, I'll eat then. Macaroni and cheese. So I made a huge pot of it last night for dinner and it didn't all get eaten. A seasoned slug. Oh. Yeah, school food. School food. Bleh, I can't not talk. School food went downhill even worse after whatever that, whichever president's wife it was it Obama's old lady, decided to mess with the school food programs. Used to, you could have decent food. I think so. I think it was Michelle Obama started that school food funding program. I don't know. Because I never could understand why my son came home from school absolutely starving every day. And he's like, they have crappy food at the school. And I'm like, what happened to the pizza bar? He's like, we're not allowed to have that anymore. Okie dokie then. Yeah, that's what he was saying. He's like, oh, you can have a salad bar if you want. He said, but I don't eat that stuff. So I started packing his lunch for him. He started taking his lunch. Then he came home. No, it's soy. Yeah, the meat at the school, it's not meat. It's all soy products. It's made out of soybean. My son come home from school one day and he was absolutely starving. I couldn't figure out why. And he said he wasn't allowed to eat his lunch at school because I had sent peanut butter. And I was like, I sent peanut butter. And he said, yeah, you sent peanut butter, so I wasn't allowed to eat. I'm like, so they couldn't call me to bring you something else? Yeah, with a ton of chemical injections. That's about it. I said, well, did they let you put a school lunch on credit? And he said, no. So the next day I went down there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's posted in our schools that you cannot have any kind of peanut products whatsoever as your snacks or your lunches because of so many kids having peanut allergies. I'm like, if the child knows it has peanut allergies, it's not going to touch the peanut butter. But I went to the school hopping mad because, here he was. He went all day with no lunch because his teacher took his lunch away from him because he had peanut butter, and nobody bothered to call me to tell me that, he couldn't have peanut butter in his lunch and I needed to bring him something. I was mad. Kids who have peanut allergies, if they get a hold of the peanut butter, then they have allergic reaction. And like I'm saying, if the child knows it has a peanut allergy, why would it touch the peanut butter? It's so that the moronic kids who apparently don't know no better to eat peanut butter because they're allergic to it can't get a hold of it. That's the only thing I could think of. Because I've never heard anything about the smell of peanut butter causing reactions. I mean, crap, I'm lactose intolerant. They still serve milk in school. They're going to stop serving milk because everybody who's lactose intolerant can't drink it? No. Yeah, I used to be jealous of them people too. See their mom and dad bring them fast food and you're sitting there going, I'm eating a cardboard plate. There you are with fast food. Oh, yeah, it's always the preppy kids. Oops, rolling that one backwards. I'll never forget one year, uh, the one guy called his mom up and he said, Mom, I want to do something special. And she's like, what's that? And he goes, I want to buy the entire school pizza. And he did from Little Caesars. He bought every kid a pizza from Little Caesar. I'll never forget that. It was like totally awesome. Oh, yeah. I remember that. It was the same way at my son's schools. You know, if we wanted to take cupcakes or a cake or something, it had to be store bought. But yet the teachers were allowed to make cookies and stuff like that and bring them in. What the piss? How do I know they're not going to poison my child? I think that was my freshman year of high school. I remember he was a senior, and I think he had gotten accepted to. He either got accepted to the University of Tennessee or something like. Anyway, he got accepted into this one college, and he was so excited, and he wanted to share with the school. I don't care. The poisoning still sounded funny. Well, okay, that makes no sense. You go to the store, you buy a cake, or you buy the cupcakes. Okay. Well, if the teacher's baking them, how do you know that she's not going to accidentally put something in there that somebody's allergic to? All these stupid rules. See, I'd be the smart aleck, and I was, because I went in with a tray of cupcakes and cookies one day for one of my kids. I don't know which kid it was. And they were like, "Are those store bought?" I'm like, "No, they're me made. I made them." And they're like, "We're sorry, you can't bring those in." And I'm like, "And just why not?" "Allergy reasons." I said, "Trust me, there's no peanut butter, no nothing in them." And they're like, "We're sorry, we can't just take your word for it." And that's when I was like, his teacher just made brownies for the whole class the other day. Why is that okay, but I can't bring in cupcakes and cookies? Well, she's a teacher. Oh, you know what? I'll show you a teacher. Domino's tastes like thick cardboard. Burger King is very hit and miss too. Yeah, I did it backwards again. I had stopped eating at Burger King for a long time, and then the other day I was craving a Whopper, so I had my son get me one, and oh my god, it was so good. I'm trying to watch my time because I've got to take him to work here in just a minute or two. You know, you're not helping making me hungry. I'm getting hungry here. White. We don't have White Castle here. We have um Crystals. It's the same thing as a White Castle though. Best fries, Rally Fries. They're seasoned fries. OMG. They're good. Or Hardee's curly fries with cheese. Them are yummy, yummy, yummy. think I just did that one. I don't know. I've lost count. Yeah, Arby's is hit and miss with some things, but I love their curly fries. It doesn't matter what it is. I have to get curly fries with cheese. Panda Express. I don't think I've ever eaten a Panda Express. They used to be at the mall, but I'm gonna put a little dab of blue because I'm gonna have to leave here in a minute. They are loaded. Two kids and they don't have much. Just I'm reading and not paying attention. Yeah, they don't want them to have the toy so their attention is on their work. I remember having to do that too. And Dairy Queen, the food is not very good, but the ice cream is a little. Yes, I agree. Their ice cream, OMG, it's to die for. We just got a Dairy Queen in our neck of the woods. But they have lunch. Yeah, and it always seemed like they ran out of the girl toys, so I was always getting the boy toys, which I didn't care. I liked it. I played with either. I don't know if Jen remembers or not because she's younger than me, but back in the day, Happy Meals used to come in plastic Happy Meal containers. They would be shaped like boats or planes or something like that. You don't remember those? Yeah, I wasn't sure if you would remember them or not. But they used to come in plastic containers. They were shaped like boats and stuff, and they still had the toys and stuff in them. But and you would get a free ice cream cone and the cookies. That is so true about Taco Bell. I used to go through the drive-through at our Taco Bell. I don't anymore. I go in because I want to see who's working. Because there are some people I trust to make my food and some people I don't. Yeah, Halloween they always did the plastic buckets, but I'm talking about like when I was a kid, uh, they used to have the plastic containers that would be boat shaped or airplane shaped or something. And they'd be solid yellow or solid red. I like KFC more than Popeyes. Just my opinion. I've never had Popeyes chicken. Do you have a Bojangles where you live? They've got some good chicken. It's spicy, but it's good. I love their dirty rice. I don't think I'm going to get all these done before I have to take my son to work. Yes. Yes, they are. I had to stop ordering tea from Sonic because they never got my order right. Because apparently, when I say unsweet tea, they always thought I said peach tea. I don't understand why. And there's one fruit in life I can't stand, and that's peaches. I don't think we have a Checkers here either. It closed down. The one near me did anyway, because it was in the mall. So I can't. I don't remember what their hamburgers tasted like. Never heard of Chicken Shack. Okay. I got a ton of beads made today. In this small town I live in, we have Taco Bell. It's Taco Bell, Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, Sonic, excuse me, Little Caesars, Domino's, Papa John's, Papa Murphy, Waffle House, Dunkin' Donuts just opened, Dairy Queen just opened. Then then there's Speedy Tomato, Craven Wings. We have a Mexican restaurant, which I can't remember the name of. We have 4 Chinese restaurants. I don't think I said Subway. We have a Subway. And Dunkin' Donuts, if I didn't say that. Oh, I completely forgot to. Let me do it right now. Got a message from somebody. Oh, those are cute. Your cat's so adorable. I really like those. Those are cool. So you just flatten them out and then put something in the middle. That's cool. That's a cool idea. Those are definitely springy. I have time for this button, and then I have to put my shoes on to take my son to work. Button. I hadn't called them buttons all day, and there I go, calling it a button. Bead. This is called a bead. After I get back from taking him to work, I gotta look to see if I can find a box to make a bead drying rack in. Oh, that's a cool idea. Because I've got to get these sealed. That's all I have left of those. I mean, I still have all that. But what I was going to do, we just have that. Oops. That's not too bad. That's a nice pile of beads. They'd go faster if they were already colored. No, I need okay. You see how, oh, I bet that one's stuck because I forgot to take it off of there. See, that one's hole's too small. Oh, I bet these skewers are going to be too big. They are. I'm going to have to run some wire so that I can hang them on it. Or, hold on. I keep forgetting this opens from the bottom. I'm going to need a box. How did she do that? I think that's how she did it. Because I'm going to have to bend a bunch of these so that I have something to paint them on. You know what I mean? When I'm putting if I don't throw them in the floor and lose them. I thought my skewers were small enough to go through those, but they're not going to be. Unicorns and rainbows. Yeah, unicorns are springy. Rainbows are springy. At least in my opinion. See, if I get some wire, I can just do them like this. And then do it. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But I've got to go because I've got to take him to work. So I'm going to say bye for now. And hopefully I will be able to be on tomorrow because it'll all work tomorrow too. So tomorrow we'll probably do more beads and make a bead drying box. Or I just may make the box and do these beads so that I can get them drying and set aside before I make more. I don't know. You know how I am. I'm iffy wiffy. Alright, so I will talk to you all later. So bye for now. Bye from Tennessee.